some shuffling of personnel, but he finds now some consistency up front in his offensive line play and getting some good yardage for Kevin Smellie.
He really is. Of course, his guards up the middle doing a good job. Their fullback game was successful last week against Villanova, although they lost the game.
Now you have Paul Mayberry and Bill Butler, the two guards that are really pretty good stories in themselves.
Well, Bill Butler likes to mix it up in the middle, Ken. Very physical type of guy. Jim Reid very pleased with those guards and with Bill Butler, and to a large degree, Butler and Mayberry very responsible for that inside running game last week against Villanova.
And Mayberry, starting last year as a freshman, has really come into his own in a hurry.
He really has. As you say, a big game last year as a freshman against UNH. He'd like to have that type of game again today. He has great ability to pull and lead on plays. Paul Mayberry, very agile for a big man.
On defense, that secondary has been riddled quite a bit this season for UMass, but one of the consistent performers has been Scott Braun.
He really has. Scott Braun, we've watched him in a couple of games. I think the one area he has helped UMass, and this is an area their opponents have tried to exploit them, Ken, is on the bomb, the long pass. And Scott Braun, in the games we've seen, has done a nice job of reading the quarterbacks, being in good position, breaking on the ball, and making things happen, either getting the interception or breaking the plays up. And Scott Brown's right up there at the top in tackles as well.
All right, the Wildcats are 6-2, and Bob Jean, they thought he had torn cartilage. Fortunately, it was some strained ligaments. He's back in the lineup again at quarterback.
Bob Jean's a tough competitor. He may not be the most talented quarterback in the Yankee Conference this year, but he gets the job done, and Bill Bowes has a lot of confidence in him. He told me last year, he said, you know, Bob Jean may overthrow a ball or underthrow a ball here, but he always seems to come back and get it done for me.
If you're a quarterback, the man you want in front of you is John Driscoll at tackle.
Big, physical, and fast, Ken, a legitimate pro prospect. He runs the 40 in about a 4.85, 4.9, and any man that large and that strong that could run that fast, the pros are going to be interested in.
I talked to Bill Farrell, the strong safety for UNH before the ball game. He has made the transition so well from offense last year. He loves to hit.
He really does. Very, very physical type of guy in the secondary, and very versatile. Of course, he has played wide receiver, as you mentioned, but he's adapted well to the secondary. Makes a lot of things happen, creates turnovers. A real hitter. He's the type of guy that will come up and rattle the other player's cage, so to speak, when he makes that hit.
Well, Bill Bowes, the UNH coach, was doing a lot of pacing here on the sideline before the ball game. I think he knows the task at hand, and we'll have the task at hand. UNH and UMass on Nesson's Yankee Conference football game of the week with a kickoff in just a moment. Ken Bell and Steve King, welcome back to Durham, New Hampshire, a sunny Durham, and of course it's going to be a great game to watch for these fans in the stands. Jim Reid and Bill Bowes going head-to-head. This is the 1980s. Last year it was New Hampshire losing to UMass 38-31. The first meeting was in 1897, so this one covers some history. 32-13-3, UMass leading the overall series. Last year, Mass pulled out the victory, led by quarterback Tim Bryant's 206 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 115 yards rushing, and Al Neary at 122 yards on the ground. So we'll see who the heroes are this year. Marco Gabrielli set to kick off, and the ball game is underway. It's a low kick, which lands at the 20-yard line and taken back to the 22, and UNH will have its first possession at the 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Taking a look at the New Hampshire offense, that quarterback, Bob Jean. Matt Banbury is the fullback. Urbanic, Spittle, Braun, and Olds, the skilled positions. And up front, left tackle, Tom Johnson, Fred Huth, Prendible, Maguire, and Driscoll.
And right away, Ken, we have Braun and Olds up the top of your screen, the wideouts together.
In that slot, and now a shift into a variation of the eye, and now motion coming from Urbanic. Jean wants to throw on the first play of the game. And the pass is caught by Matt Banbury, the fullback, and he's out to the 42-yard line where Scott Braun makes the stop. First play, and this is the indication of the type of offense that UNH was going to go for, throw the ball early.
And they take the wideouts, run them upfield, get the defensive backs out of the way. Banbury out of the backfield from the fullback position into the flat, and a nice gain there for a first down.
Banbury's 9th pass reception of the season. 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line. I formation, and this time Chris Braun goes in motion. Handoff Urbanic. He is greeted right at the line of scrimmage by that mass defense. Good play by Sharon, Cullen, and Robar across the front. And while we're discussing that, let's look at the D. Dan Sharon, Joe Cullen, Steve Robar, 3 good ones up front. The linebackers, perhaps the best in the league, Todd Rundle, George Corellis, Vito Perrone, and Drew Como. Then in that secondary, Amos, Brown, Bertucci, and Thomas. And talking with Mark Whipple, the offensive coordinator for UNH before the ball game, Steve, he said Todd Rundle and Paul Boulay would have to be maybe the 2 leading candidates for players of the year in the league. Bob Jean rolls out. He is sacked back at the 29-yard line. Big play by Todd Rundle.
Speak of the devil, Todd Rundle with one of those big plays he's known for coming up with. He gets off of his blocker so quickly, Ken. Here's the bootleg after the fake. Watch how quickly Rundle comes in on Jean. His receiver hasn't had time to get into his pattern. Rundle with the big sack.
3rd down and 24. Rundle, a Sporting News preseason All-American, came into this ball game with 66 tackles. You can now make it 67. He also has 10 sacks, which leads the team. And against Villanova last week, had a sack, 8 tackles, and 2 pass deflections. What a season he's had. And the whistle blows. We may have a delay call tagged onto that. Too much time. The officials today, the referee is David Harrison. Alan Ferraro is the umpire. John Schleyer, the linesman. William Watt is the line judge. Robert Skolowski is the field judge. Andrew Benucci, the back judge. And Eric Banistelli is the clock operator here in Durham. Glad you're with us on Nesson's Yankee Conference Football Game of the Week. Action just underway. New Hampshire's first possession of the ball game. They're hurting themselves now after the sack, and now the 5-yard walk-off makes it 3rd down and 29 yards to go. Split receivers either side. Long count by Jean. Plenty of time to throw the ball. Lofts the bomb, looking for Olds. And the ball is off his hands. That's Chris Braun. Chris Braun had the ball off his hands. Good coverage out there by
Garry Amos. Garry Amos, Ken. Great position all the way, staying with Braun. Good inside position. He knew where he was all the time. Here's the throw by Jean. Now watch how, see, he actually has a step on Braun. He's got inside position, breaks it up. Look at the effort by Braun, though, after he tipped the ball.
Nate Baldessaro, I should say, set to punt the ball away. It's a good kick coming down at the 48-yard line. And the return down to the 40. Matt Banbury makes the stop on Scott Alia. 29-yard punt. And the return to the 41. So New Hampshire has good, is up against it now on the initial possession as UMass has good field position on the first possession. Check out the offense in just a moment. Dave Palazzi, the starting quarterback. He and Tim Bryant have shared the duties a lot this season. Palazzi started last week, starts this week. Quickly, a pass to the right side, and it's caught and taken out of bounds. Ted Barrett at the 31-yard line. Bob Murray makes the stop. So here's the UMass offense. Palazzi at quarterback, Ted Barrett at fullback, Kevin Smellie at tailback. The tight end is Mike Kelly, Mike Trifari at flanker, and Jay Doughty, the split end. Up front, Salmon, Butler, Montini, Mayberry, and Barrett. 2nd down and inches. Split backfield. Trifari goes in motion. The pitch is to Smellie, and he is wrapped up by Bill Farrell at the 29, but that should be good for the 1st down.
It is, Ken. They're moving the chains, and UMass coming out. They're going to try to mix it up. UNH gets off the ball so quickly up front, and a fake on the first play, and they set up a screen extremely well to the right side. That pass to Barrett.
New Hampshire defense, Murray, Doherty, O'Malley, Boulay, and Jarostchuk up front. Tychen and Curtis, the linebackers. And the secondary, Jones, Farrell, Jordan, and Tim Byrne, who leads the league in interceptions along with Mark Seals of BU. Here's the pitch to Smellie on 1st down. Has some running room. 20-yard line. He's hit at the 19 and brought down at that spot, but it's good for another 1st down.
Well, they're going to try to attack the corners here. You can see the pitch. The right guard leads. He gets a block. And look how much room Kevin Smellie has by Jarostchuk, who got cut off by a blocker. very close to another first down, Ken.
Just a bit short. Just a few inches short, so it'll be second down and just inches. Kelly, the tight end, goes in motion. Barrett gets the handoff, and he has the first down to the 15-yard line. Scott Curtis makes the stop on him there. UMass has had trouble scoring in the first period, Steve. 17 points all season in that first quarter. They've been outscored 56-17 and had trouble in the fourth quarter, too.
And last year, basically the same type of situation, losing the first quarter scoring, Ken, but very strong in the fourth quarter.
Palazzi hands to his fullback. This is Alan Williams, and he moves the ball to the 12-yard line. Second down and 6 yards to go, so UMass on its first possession getting the good field position at the 48, just marching the ball right down the field. Split backfield as Palazzi shouts something out to slot to the left side. And now Palazzi sees something he doesn't like, and so he calls timeout. We talked to a couple of the offensive linemen before the ball game, Steve, and really UMass has had so many problems in receivers dropping the ball and so forth, but the play along the front has been consistent.
Well, it has, and one of the things that Jim Reid's been concerned about, or he was concerned about entering the season, was his team speed, especially at the wideouts. Last year, of course, Crowley came up with a lot of big plays for the Minutemen, and as we watched Jim Reid there talking with his quarterback, Dave Palazzi, this UMass team really just not coming up with that big play like they did last year, and I think that was the difference in their season. You know, if you stop their games at halftime last year, they're 1-9-1, Ken. And yet they end up with I believe, 8-3 record last year.
And the turnover ratio has been something that's haunted them all season. They're minus 18. They've turned the ball over 18 more times than they've gotten the turnover. And two quarterbacks, Bryant and Palazzi, have been intercepted 20 times this year.
And that's a good point, Ken, because usually a turnover ratio indicates how the team is doing as a whole.
And the team has fumbled 19 times and lost it.
You think Jim Reid's pumped up there?
Boy, he is ready to go.
He wants this game.
Second down and 6. Palazzi. Handoff straight up the middle to Barrett. He noses inside the 9-yard line, and they'll spot the ball at the 8. Ted Barrett from North Attleboro, Mass. An interesting story that we've talked about before on these telecasts. He had 3 operations for colitis. Did not play in 1986, but he's come back, and he's so strong, Steve, he benches 335.
Tight formation, Ken, 2 tight ends.
And 3rd and 3. Kevin Smellie dives for the first down at the 5-yard line, and it looks like, depending on the spot, they should have the first down.
Well, this is interesting, Ken. They have a 3rd and 4, and they elect to run the ball off tackle against a very strong unit up front defensively against the Wildcats.
Well, it's 4th down, Steve. 4th down, and it's got to be about a half a yard. And now Jay Nisbet comes in, and you see the wishbone formation in the backfield. Handoff, Smellie dives for the first down at the 3-yard line. Well, you got Nisbet and Ted Barrett, the 2 big guys in there, knocking people around, and Smellie dives for it.
Well, this is what they like to do in those short yardage situations. Get those 2 fullbacks big and strong up there leading for Smellie. Then you can see the alley-oop dive over that pile, and he gets the first down clearly.
First and goal from the 3-yard line. The inverted wishbone this time. Pitch, Smellie, and he will be hit behind the line at the 4-yard line by Scott Curtis. Good play by number 92, Curtis, who's the leader. Pros are watching him.
Now there's that great speed by Scott Curtis. He runs a 4.65 40, Ken, and that's fast for an inside man with his size. That time he just shot underneath the blockers, caught Smellie for a little bit of a loss. Great play, number 92, Scott Curtis.
Bill Bowes enjoying that play by his 6'1 senior Scott Curtis. Second down, Smellie up the middle again. This time he's wrapped up by Paul Boulay, another one the pros are watching. And that UNH defense is responding.
They keep coming at the middle of that UNH line. They started the game out running at the corners a little, then went back to the inside running game. Surprisingly, an impressive drive, but 2 attempts from just inside the 5, Ken, and not a lot of yardage. Look for some sort of fake here, an option or bootleg.
Inverted wishbone once again. 3rd down and goal. Fake handoff, play action as Palazzi pitches. Ball loose. New Hampshire's got it. Play never developed. Palazzi pitched out probably when he shouldn't have, and Will Tychen makes the recovery.
This will add to that minus turnover ratio. This is a bad decision. There's the reverse option by Palazzi. Now he's hit here, Ken. Now he decides to toss the ball off balance behind Kevin Smellie. You can see the ball being kicked around there, and there's the recovery by Will Tychen, number 50, before it rolls out of bounds.
Look where it is, Steve. It's on the 1-yard line. But the defense does the job. New Hampshire down in dangerous territory here, but avoiding the touchdown or giving up any points at all. Bob Jean on UNH's 2nd possession of the ball game. Handoff to Todd Urbanic. He's met at the 1 and driven back. Joe Cullen was there to help make the play. Both these teams appear to be very sparked for this ball game, Steve, both defenses.
They really do. Now, UMass looks strong up the middle initially, and of course, keep in mind the All-American linebacker John McEwen out for the season. George Corellis, number 30, filling in for him, so we'll watch that closely, but he gets a lot of help from Joe Cullen, the nose guard, and his other mate, an inside linebacker, Vito Perone.
And again, injuries taking their toll on both these ball clubs at this stage of the season. Timeout UNH as Bob Jean comes over to the sideline. This copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by UNH solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and UNH is prohibited. I talked with John Driscoll before the ball game, and of course he is excited that the pros are going to be taking a good look at him. There have been a lot of people here to watch films. Mark Whipple, the offensive coordinator, says really you have to get into that bowl situation at the end of the season to have scouts take an honest look at you and see what you can do against 270-pounders.
That'll be very important for him, Ken. If he makes a good showing in those post-bowl games, it'll really help his chances to be drafted.
So far rushing, UNH minus 13 on 2 carries, Mass 10 for 28 yards. Driscoll, you saw, number 63, lining up on 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Urbanic goes in motion. Jean rolls. Urbanic has it at the 10-yard line and out at the 11. Very close to the 1st down. The chains on the opposite side of the field.
All right, UMass had shifted over. The defensive line has shifted to the left, but they didn't make the adjustment here. Nobody's covering Urbanic. The wide receivers ran the defensive backs off. Now they react, but he's very close to a 1st down, Ken.
The officials will bring the chains all the way across the field. Check this one out. What a record Bill Bowes has here, Steve. Did you notice this in the guide? 53, 26, and 2 at home in his career.
Phenomenal. I think he's won something like 34 of the last 46 games.
And his overall record is 101, 57, and 3, and he is 9th on the all-time 1AA winning percentage list.
The Wildcats particularly tough here at home at Cowell Stadium.
There's Jim Reid on the opposite sideline. He's in his 2nd year here. His team is 10-2, 10-10, I should say, under his tutelage. The 1st down for UNH. And the ball is spotted at the 12-yard line. Sun shining brightly here. Just a great day for a football game in mid-November. Out of the eye this time. Jean looks. Pass is caught by Curtis Olds, but he is greeted immediately and thrown back, so there's not much doing there. They spot the ball to the 14-yard line.
We talked about Scott Brown in the pregame. Watch how quickly he reacts to this quick pass out to Olds. Olds took a few steps upfield, comes back for the ball. Brown reacted. He was reading the quarterback, closes quickly, makes a great tackle.
2nd down and 7 yards to go. Again, the eye as UMass does some shifting up front. Urbanic now goes in motion, and more shifting along the defensive front. Jean throws the ball out, intended for Urbanic. It is incomplete. Well, Mass has done this the times we've seen him this season, Steve. They try to give you a different look along that defensive front to confuse you at the last minute.
And I think Bill Bowes is anticipating this shift, and he's calling plays accordingly. That time, UMass shifted to the left. Then when Urbanic went in motion, they shifted back to the right. The difference this time was Scott Brown read the play and closed, and Bob Jean was forced to throw the ball low and to the outside. Urbanic unable to get it.
Chris Braun splits to the near side. Olds is left. A shotgun formation by Jean on 3rd and long. He fires over for Urbanic, and the ball is taken at the 21-yard line and down at that spot, short of the first down. George Corellis makes the stop on the play.
All right, he's going for that first down. He's getting good protection, as you see there. Rundle blocked out. Receiver hooks up to the inside. Good reaction. The tackle there, very close. They're going to measure this one, Ken.
It is close enough to measure. Urbanic has done a nice job taking over in a tough situation, Steve. You had Norm Ford, one of the top runners in the entire league, and, matter of fact, in the Northeast, and he was leading the conference in so many stats. That's good for a first down. But you've got Urbanic, who's a tough character. He doesn't have the speed that Norm Ford does, but makes up with it with just his desire, determination.
He really does. A good runner, tackle, Ken. Now, Mike Ryan just replaced him. He has a little more speed.
Bob Jean, 4 for 6 passing, 32 yards so far. This is a first down. Mike Ryan is now the tailback as Urbanic takes a break. Fake draw, play action over the middle. Pass is caught by Chris Braun. Ball loose on the ground. It's still loose. And who has got it? Vito Perrone says the Minutemen have got it, and New Hampshire has recovered.
No, that's UMass, Ken.
I'm sorry, it's UMass that's got the football.
Now he had 2 receivers open. Banbury, the fullback, was open in the flat, but he found Braun crossing the middle between the 2 linebackers. There you see it. Now watch Perrone. He strips him of the ball. It bounces away. Now watch this mad scramble for the ball. Now Braun almost had it. It looks like Bertucci popped it out of there. Now it's still loose. The officials still haven't blown the whistle at that point, but UMass comes up with it.
Garry was also celebrating. Perhaps he was in on the recovery action. Dave Palazzi is chased out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and again, UMass has good field position to start another drive. They were stalled at the 1-yard line after the Palazzi fumble on the attempted pitch out, and New Hampshire took over to stall that one.
Now Bill Butler, number 69, the right guard had pulled, leading for Palazzi, got a good block, enabling Palazzi to pick up a little yardage there when he found that his receivers were covered.
Palazzi, the Rookie of the Year in the Yankee Conference, his first year as a freshman. Rolls, pitch to Smellie. Has some room on the outside, 32-yard line. And they'll say he stepped out at the 30. Bring up a 3rd and 3. Kevin Smellie with great speed. Gary Jordan, man, pushed him out of bounds. Smellie, out of Canada, Ontario, hopes to be a part of the Canadian 1992 decathlon in the Olympics.
A great athlete, Ken. Good block that time from his fullback, Murphy.
Smellie has 7 carries, 21 yards so far in the ball game. Nice shot there of Pete Montini, the center, who snaps the ball to Palazzi, who rolls. He pumps a couple of times and will be brought down at the 26. I think he has the first down. Well, Palazzi may have bought himself a yard or two by showing that he was going to pass. T.J. Reip makes the stop.
And he would have had a lot more yardage there, Ken, if Reip had made a good move on a potential blocker, made a miss, and come up with the tackle.
Well, we talked to the 2 guards before the ball game, Steve, and they're doing the job so far. UMass is getting the job done up front. No points on the board, but they are moving the ball. Handoff, Kevin Murphy, the big fullback, and he's inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Mass coming into the ball game 2-7 overall, 2-4 in Yankee Conference play. Alex Jarostchuk, who has a couple of brothers on the team. Basil Jarostchuk, who's the starting defensive end. Alex makes this stop, and of course his brother Ilya is with the St. Louis Cardinals, drafted in the 5th round by the Cards. 2nd down and 7. Palazzi, the quick throw to the right side. Smellie makes a nice grab over there as he lost the ball momentarily, did the juggling act. It's out of bounds and short of the 1st down.
Now, nobody picked up Smellie. He's wide open. He had went in motion to the right. Look how wide open he is. Jones, the cornerback, reacts as he's bobbling the ball. He could have had a lot more yards. There you see Jones forcing him out of bounds.
Smellie had come in with 12 receptions, but UMass is using him today in the air as well as on the ground. 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Hand off Smellie. He puts his nose down and gets to the 15-yard line. And it looks like he should have the 1st down.
He did get it, Ken, and the key here is that offensive line got movement, and the fullback, number 48, Kevin Murphy, gets his block. Smellie slams it up in there, and they're grinding it out against a very good Wildcat defense.
Basil Jarostchuk makes the stop on the play, but not before UMass has another 1st down opportunity. The last one ended in disaster at the 1-yard line off the fumble. Let's see what they do this time on 1st and 10 from the 15. Now Chip Mitchell's in the ball game, and he is a slot to the right side. Split backfield. Murphy and Smellie. Hand off to Smellie. He cuts back and dives down to the 11-yard line.
There's the ability of a Kevin Smellie coming through for you. There was nothing to the right there. They wanted to go over that guard tackle gap to the right. It was plugged up immediately. Smellie read it, was able to cut back to his left against the grain and pick up about 5 yards.
Jim Reid said he liked the speed that Chip Mitchell has. That's why they're using that receiver. He's normally a tailback. Now he's flanked to the right side. A tight left with an I formation. And Palazzi, the 1-step drop, fakes the pitch out. He has the 1. He has the goal line. It scores. Nice effort by Dave Palazzi. Lost the ball, but after he was in the end zone, it's 6 on the board.
This time he makes the right decision, Ken. He makes a nice fake. You're going to watch him coming down the line on the option. Watch right here. Watch the move. There's the fake. He gets the outside man to commit, cuts up inside, gets hit at the 4-yard line, keeps those legs pumping over the goal line. Great effort, Dave Palazzi.
Silvio Bonvini, bullseye, will attempt to tag on the extra point. Bonvini 21 of 22 on the season, and penalty markers come out. Bonvini gets a free kick. We'll see what this one's all about. He may get another opportunity here. It was before the play. 3:41 left in the first period, and the 6-0 score. UMass driving well on both its opportunities, and of course good field position on both. The first one ending in a fumble, this one ending in 6 points. Illegal procedure is the call against UMass, so have to kick it from 5 yards further up the field. Palazzi read that play well, Steve, and that has been one of the knocks when the play has not been designed that way. Palazzi has not been the kind of free-form offensive player that Tim Bryant has been.
Well, he's a better athlete than Tim Bryant from a pure athletic standpoint, Ken. You can really utilize a Dave Palazzi on an option play. Overall, I think Tim Bryant has some advantages in that he calls the audible game very well. Really has a nice head when he's in the ball game. But Jim Reid's really been forced to go with the guy who's got the hot hand. And it looks like today Dave Palazzi might have the hot feet. Silvio Bonvini injured on the extra point attempt, Ken, as they help him off the field.
Oh, wow. He's run into after he boots the extra point. 7-0 is the score. And UMass has the lead, which is rare for them in the first quarter. That's just, it has to be their 3rd touchdown of the season in the first quarter.
It's a positive way for them to start the game.
8 plays, 36 yards, 2:22 off the clock, and that's the extent of the scoring play, scoring drive, and I should say the scoring play was the 11-yard run by Palazzi.
And if you notice, Ken, they're running a lot of 2 tight ends offensively, and I think that was the key in that drive. They're giving the Wildcats a little different look up front with those 2 tight ends, Yavis and, of course, Kelly, 2 big, strong tight ends. So they're just running the ball right at the Wildcats.
And coming up with 58 yards on the ground so far on 17 carries at UNH, 3 from -13. Tells you a lot about how the game has played so far. You have to be impressed. UMass coming in 2-7, really in playing inspired football here in the first period. Now leading 7-0. Marco Gabrielli, long boot carrying down to the 5-yard line. Out to the 20. And to the 30-yard line. Good return. And UNH will have good field position to start. Todd Urbanic on the return. New Hampshire coming in 6-2 in overall and 3-2 in Yankee Conference play, ranked 18th in 1AA. Lost to Maine, and last week the terrible blow in losing to the Maine Black Bears could possibly come back to haunt them if the Yankee Conference gets one other bid to the postseason playoffs. Lone setback as Gene will throw on first down. And he has Curtis Olds. 48-yard line, first down.
This is a well-executed play. Olds comes in motion towards the formation. Now he angles across the field. Watch the pump fake by Gene. He gets the backs to commit. Then Olds keeps running. He hits him in the seam. Great play. Bob Gene, Curtis Olds, well executed.
The all-time leading receiver in UNH history. Curtis Olds adds another 17-yard reception to his career list. First and 10, 48. Olds in motion this time. Gene to throw again. This time he tries for Braun, but the pass is short. What an outside threat these two guys are, Olds and Braun.
And if UMass can deal with them today, Ken, they will be successful. If they can hold Olds and Braun down, I think that's the key. Rob Spittle, the normal tight end, of course, hobbled today. Crevani filling in for him.
Spittle has a pulled groin. He's had an ulcer in the spring. He had mono as a freshman. Spittle now slowed by a groin pull today. Here's the pitch to Todd Urbanic. Look at the tough yardage he gets. Ball spills out, and New Hampshire loses it.
I thought I heard a whistle, Ken. I think they're going to mark that as being down.
Well, that's a fortunate break for the Wildcats because UMass had recovered the football.
Urbanic hit close to the line of scrimmage. Great balance. Managed to pick up more like 6 yards on that carry.
Urbanic is being attended to on the sideline, and a dog is on the field at the 40-yard line.
He really took a shot, but kept those legs moving.
Well, the dog gets off. Well, now he's headed for the end zone. Bob Gene rolls back, looking for his tight end, Crevani. He had two receivers out there, as Braun was also in the vicinity, Steve, and I think Braun thought the ball should have been thrown to him.
Well, it may have been intended for Braun, overthrown. It was actually behind Crevani, although he was the closest. I think it was intended for Braun. You can see he's talking to Braun there, and Bob Gene is telling him something that he misinterpreted the pattern or something like that, but I think it was definitely intended for Braun.
Nate Baldessaro to boot the ball away. 46 punts on the season, a 34-yard average. His longest was 49. Let's see what he does with this one. 2:24 remaining in the period. It's a high kick and nobody back because UMass doesn't want to take a risk back there. Ball is on the 1-yard line, and it'll be down short of the goal line. Good play by the special teams as they down the ball at the half-yard line.
Now, this is a big play for the Wildcats. I thought that the player who touched the ball had rolled into the end zone, his shoulder touching the goal line, Ken, which would have meant it would have been a touchback. But from our vantage point, it's a little different. The official right on top of it. That's a great play in the kicking game.
44-yard punt, and it's down at the half-yard line, so Mass is really backed up this time, and Bill Bose on the sideline has got to enjoy that. First time all ball game that UMass has not had great field position to start their drive. And a whistle blows at the snap of the ball. I think the official was a little late. Seemed like the snap was already made. We'll see what the call is. Illegal procedure. And what do you take off a half a yard?
I don't even
quarter
think
of a yard,
half a yard, Ken. It looks like about 6 inches. So if that's the case, about 3 inches.
You ever had a situation or seen a ball game where the ball was actually right next to the goal line?
I can remember some times where I played for the Patriots and we had 2 or 3 penalties in a row and they couldn't move the ball after a while. They would have had to have called a safety if they moved it anymore. Every team faces that at one time or another, but not much you can do there. That doesn't make much difference.
No breathing room back there. It's 1st and 10.5. Handoff straight up the middle, just looking for any kind of yardage. Kevin Murphy. Murphy's a big guy at 245 pounds, 5'10". Biggest day was 64 yards against Villanova.
Now, so far, Nick Salmon, the tackle, offensive tackle for UMass, going against number 98, Paul Boulay. We haven't heard much from Boulay, so Salmon could be a real key today for that UMass offense.
2nd down and 8. Palazzi to throw, and the quick toss is complete to Mike Trifari, and the breathing room all the way out to the 17-yard line, and that's a sigh of relief from Jim Reid.
Well, this is the option pass. Watch, he fakes there, reverses out, following his tackle. It froze the safeties just long enough. Trifari, slanting over the middle, gets them out of the hole, 1st down.
Gary Jordan makes the stop, but Trifari, 5'11", 185-pound senior, comes up with a big catch. He came to UMass as a quarterback. Palazzi to throw to Smellie, has the ball at the 15, out to the 20-yard line, and breaks into some good yardage to the 26. He'll be shy of the 1st down, but get the ball in Smellie's hands, and a lot of things can happen.
Well executed. Watch Mayberry, the guard. He gives pass influence. Now he slips down the line of scrimmage. Watch this block. Right there, he gives Smellie the inside seam, and Kelly downfield giving him some help. They're moving the ball against this good Wildcat defense, Ken. Very surprising the way they're moving the ball this afternoon.
And close enough to measure a 1st down. Now, you say pass influence, Steve. What does that term mean?
Well, the guard sets up immediately as if he's going to pass block. And, of course, he's a guard in this defense where, or the Wildcats defense, they have a nose guard, but nobody over the guard. But it gives the linebackers and the nose guard that pass influence. They start upfield. Then he slips down the line of scrimmage. In the meantime, Smellie is also flared to the right or taking a couple of steps to the right to give pass influence. Then he flares out to the right. And Palazzi, as he's dropping back, lets the defensive line, oncoming lineman, come towards him, then releases the ball. Hence, the play is set up. Mayberry was out in front to block for Smellie.
Very good. All right, Smellie, 10 carries, 37 yards. Trifari in motion. There's the fake pitch and a handoff to Kevin Murphy. And Murph goes to the 30-yard line before Scott Curtis can make the stop on him. 41 seconds left in the 1st period. Mass leading 7-0 and moving the ball with consistency on the ground.
Now, Maine last week had the most success running the ball against New Hampshire than any other opponent the Wildcats have had. 177 yards rushing, Ken. UMass may be approaching that by the 2nd half.
Here's the option play. Smellie needs a block, gets it. 35 and out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
And that block you're talking about came from Murphy, the fullback, on the defensive back, number 22, Byrne. From the end zone, here it is, the option, the toss. Now, nice grab by Smellie. The ball was behind him, but there you can see the block. Murphy on Byrne, giving Smellie the outside before he was forced out of bounds by Jordan.
Kevin Smellie having some kind of 1st quarter here with 20 seconds left in it. Gets the call again, straight up the middle to the 41-yard line. Smellie had 171 yards his best afternoon against Boston University. On 33 carries, he had 82 yards against Villanova, his 2nd highest total.
And they're just slamming it right up the middle, Ken. They're going at the strength of this Wildcat defense,
which has to be a little disconcerting to the Cats because that's normally the strength of the team right up front. Although, Steve, we've got T.J. Heap and Alan Jarostchuk seeing a lot of duty in there. I wonder if there's something wrong with Kevin Doherty. Done a lot of substituting. Will Tychen also has been out of there some. And it is good for the 1st down. 15 seconds left in the 1st period.
Now, Anthony Giudice, number 79, in for Butler at guard, and we'll see this during the game. Nothing wrong with Butler, it's just that Giudice is a very good guard, too.
Mass has 9 first downs, UNH 5. Kevin Smellie, 12 carries, 47 yards, 6 seconds left, one more play in the period. And Palazzi with the blitz on, finds Kevin Smellie at the 40-yard line, and he steps out of bounds. The first period is over. And we'll return to Durham, New Hampshire with the score after one, UMass 7, UNH nothing. Back to Durham, New Hampshire, Cowell Stadium, and a gorgeous afternoon for a football game, something you don't expect in mid-November. Team rushing says a lot, Steve. UMass 88 yards on 22 carries. New Hampshire 4 carries, -6. Here it is, 2nd down and 9. UMass has been moving the football. First play of the second quarter to Smellie, overthrown. Palazzi let that one fly. I think he felt the rush. Paul Boulay was in there.
It was set up. Palazzi knows he just overthrew the football.
Look at the time of possession in the first period. 9:17 for Mass and 5:43 for the Wildcats.
For some reason, UMass seems to play the Wildcats extremely tough, Ken.
Number 41, Kevin Smellie. Loss of 6 on the play.
Loss of 6, so it's 3rd down.
3rd down
And 16 yards to go. 7-0, Mass is leading. 3rd down play here with a short slot to the right side. Not much room to work over there. Smellie now goes in motion to the opposite side. And Palazzi wants to throw. Quarterback draw, 40-yard line, and 49. Well, Palazzi, when he saw there was no room, decided to tuck and run, and he winds up about 2 yards shy of the first down. Sherm Beatty and Basil Jarostchuk making the stop.
Well, he wants Kevin Smellie. Smellie was in motion. Here he had broken from the pocket, being pursued from behind. Now there's a linebacker. He tries to put a move on him. He's going to get hauled down. That's Jarostchuk with a shirt tackle. And right there, a little extra. They could have been called for something, but 4th down, they're going to get the ball.
Dimitri Yavis, the big punter, 47 punts, 37-yard average. Tom Joy, the leading punt returner in the league, standing at the 18. He'll let the ball die as it rolls inside the 12 and is spotted at the 11-yard line. So good punting by both teams here in the first half. A 41-yard punt.
No return. First down and 10.
Mass takes over again, 1st down and 10, leading the ball game 7-0. Plenty of success moving the ball on the ground for Jim Reid's troops. Let's see what they do on this possession.
Well, the Wildcats need to establish that running game, Ken, to make that passing attack effective.
Minus yardage so far for them in rushing, so Bob Jean has decided to go to the air for this one. See what they do on 1st down as Urbanic starts off as the tailback. They shift into the eye, and now Curtis Olds goes in motion. Urbanic is greeted right in front by Joe Cullen and company. Not much running room up there. Second down and 9. Bill Bowes looking on. 16 years here at UNH. Only had 3 losing seasons. Urbanic now goes in motion. Jean rolls. Looking for Olds, who's got the ball at the 25-yard line and a 1st down. Garrick Amos defending on the play, but Olds was the only receiver anywhere near the ball. There were 3 defenders.
Well, this is the zone defense that UMass was in, and Amos, respecting Olds' speed, is giving him a lot of room. You can see Jean rolling out. There's Olds crossing your screen. Now he just hooks up right here, and you can see how much space was between he and Garrick Amos. 1st down, Wildcats.
Jean 7 for 11, 78 yards through the air. Pass again to Curtis Olds, and he's out to the 34-yard line.
And again, you can see they're giving Olds a lot of room, Ken. They're concerned about his speed. He's a home run threat from that wideout position. and now the Wildcats are taking advantage of what UMass is giving them. Take a look here. Look how much room he's got to work with. He just does a little square out, sets up for the ball. Now he could get about 3 extra yards because the corner's so far off of him.
Olds averages 14 yards a catch. Here's the pitch to Urbanic, and he is hit behind the line at the 34-yard line. And the rush is on by that mass defense. Joe Cullen makes the stop.
Joe Cullen again, Ken, that great strength showing up, plays off of his blocker down the line, and he gets help from Vito Perrone, number 44.
Urbanic, 5 carries, 5 yards. Not much doing. Loses one there, so it's 3rd down. And about a yard. I formation. Gene Urbanic has the 1st down. And he crawls his way out to the 39. Jim Bertucci makes the stop on the play. Urbanic came into this ball game with 46 carries, 177 yards, and a touchdown. And, of course, has gotten the call because Norm Ford has a hairline fracture of the ankle. They thought it was simply a sprained ankle. He left on the 2nd play of last week's game against Maine. Urbanic had to come in. But it turned out after some bone scans on Thursday that Norm Ford, unfortunately, has a broken ankle. Pass over the middle, complete to Braun, 48-yard line. George Corellis makes the stop on him at linebacker, and he's filling in for John McEwen, who is out with injury.
This is a good call by UNH. Now Braun's going to cross from the right side. They had sent Urbanic in motion. That forced Rundle into coverage. You can see Bob Jean with a lot of time, and Braun coming underneath the coverage with the reception. 1st down, Wildcats.
From the 48. Again, the shift. Now Braun goes in motion. Bob Jean to Urbanic. Good running room. 1st down again. Very close to the 39-yard line, and this should be enough yardage for the 1st. We had mentioned that John McEwen was out. He had a broken foot, the All-American inside linebacker, so that hurt the UMass linebacker corps, which is outstanding with Rundle, Perrone, and Como there, and now Corellis fits into the picture.
And that play went off the All-American right tackle, John Driscoll, Ken.
Driscoll punching some holes on this particular drive, and they'll bring the chains out to check this one out. UNH with 11 seniors on the squad, 22 juniors, 29 sophomores, and 30 freshmen. So Bill has a lot to look forward to, and of course you've got junior quarterback Bob Jean back next year. Just shy of the 1st down. So it'll be 2nd down and just inches. Jean 9 for 13, 100 yards through the air already. The game has not been working on the ground, so Jean has gone up top. 2nd and short. Jean will use the down to play with. Lobs the ball, caught by Crevani, and down at the 15-yard line. Steve Crevani, he was wide open. Scott Brown was rushing.
A breakdown in coverage by UMass. It's just a simple little play action. The linebackers are frozen. Now Crevani, the tight end from the right side, or excuse me, the left side, is wide open up the middle, and he stumbles as he turns to try to run upfield, but a big gain for the Wildcats.
Crevani playing in place of Rob Spittle out with a pulled groin. 10:41 left in the 1st half, 7-0 Mass. 1st down UNH. Urbanic has some running room. He drives his way down to the 10-yard line. Tough running by Todd Urbanic.
He's not that big, Ken. Watch Joe Cullen miss the tackle. Here's the toss right here. And Cullen's a strong man. Urbanic, strong leg work. Now he puts his shoulder down, forces Scott Brown to wrestle him down from behind.
Boy, good blocking up front. Line just clearing people out of there. Todd Urbanic now lines up as the lone setback. Split receivers either side. Urbanic takes a couple of steps back and now directly behind Jean. On 2nd down and 4, Urbanic gets the call. Looks like he wants to throw the football. He will be wrapped up back at the 25-yard line. Looks like he wanted to throw, Steve.
He did, and deep in the end zone is Curtis Oles, but Garry Amos is with him. But Rundle, number 85, the defensive end, is the key here. There's the toss. Now you can see right away he wanted to look for Oles, but look how quickly Rundle shed his blocker, forcing Urbanic even deeper. But Amos had the coverage. Now Bertucci, Perone, all there. They're swarming him at this point. Big loss for the Wildcats.
From a 2nd and 4 to now a 3rd and 16. Big defensive play by Mass. Leading 7-0. Minutemen hoping to stiffen here on defense. And now into the shotgun for Gene on 3rd and long. And the count is too long. That'll cost him another 5 yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 21.
What a turnaround, Ken. Of
Boy,
course,
isn't that?
the original line of scrimmage at the 16-yard line.
The rhythm is flowing, and then just a couple of things happen,
Right
Steve.
now, all the way back to the 28. And they may be out of field goal range.
There's a very interested UNH observer. Probably a Wildcat in his or her own right. It's hard to tell when they're that age, but dressed in blues.
Mine were. I don't know about yours.
3rd and 21, shotgun. Gene to throw. Pass it. Oh, there will be pass interference. Crevani was hit well before the play by Scott Brown.
And Jim Reid, a little disgusted on the sideline, Ken, that Scott Brown misjudged that by so much, making contact before the ball arrived.
Bob Gene has just set a new UNH yardage record of 4,185 yards. He's 10 for 14, 123 yards through the air, Steve, so he hits that 4,185-yard mark. Boy, what a career for this guy, who really, this is his year. Last year and this year have been the 2 years he's been playing consistently. Braun goes in motion. 1st and 10. Ball is thrown for Olds. It's overthrown at the 5-yard line. Good coverage out there, and Gene had to throw it high. Brings up a 2nd down from the 26.
Steve Robar, number 73, with the pressure that time, fighting off a double team.
An 11-yard touchdown run by Palazzi, the only score of the first half. The official says, back it up, guys. Moves the UNH team back from the sideline. That's the momentary delay, and now it's 2nd down and 10 yards to go. 8:57 remaining in the first half. Hand off to the fullback, nothing doing. Matt Banbury is boxed by Joe Cullen.
Matt Banbury on the carry for UNH. Tackled by number 97, Joe Cullen.
Cullen very prominent in what's happening in the middle of that line.
Boy, isn't it? It's a Cullen day here so far.
Banbury had hardly gotten a handoff, and Cullen right in his face.
3rd down and 10. The Mass defense is responding after stopping Urbanic on the attempted pass and throwing him for the loss. And now UNH spinning its wheels on offense after driving down the field. Gene backs up and will prefer the shotgun on 3rd and 10. The blitz is on. The pass is caught by Braun. He gets away. 15 down to the 10. 5. He has the corner. Touchdown. A 25-yard touchdown pass and great running by Braun after he caught the ball.
Well, UMass gave him new life with the penalty, but still got him in a 3rd and long. Now Oles running upfield. Braun cuts up inside, gets reception now. Watch him avoid the tackler. Gets a block from Oles right there. Turns on the Jets for the corner. Touchdown for the Wildcats.
Chris Braun has his 9th touchdown of the season. Eric Facey boots the extra point, and it's good. 52nd straight extra point by Eric Facey. That adding to his school record. And there's Bob Gene getting the congratulations on the headset with Mark Whipple up in the press box, the offensive coordinator. Whip, friend of mine who used to quarterback Brown University, always a good guy to talk to, and Mark has done very well as the offensive coordinator here. And here's Chris Braun, who caught the touchdown pass. Bob Jean, the all-time career leader in touchdowns with 32. And Braun with a UNH record of 9 touchdowns in a season. That's the most in 1 year, 9 touchdowns. So all sorts of records being set. There's Chris Braun. Boy, that's fun to sit on the sideline after making a play like that and just kind of soak up the rays and soak up the play in your mind.
He and Oles working together on that pattern. Combined this year, they have 85 receptions coming into the game, Ken. Those two receivers work as well together as any in the Yankee Conference.
We're all tied 7-7 with 8:09 remaining in the half. Palazzi, the 11-yard run. Now Jean to Braun, 25-yard touchdown toss. And we're all knotted up at 7 apiece. Nesson's Yankee Conference football game of the week. One more to go next Saturday. The ball is blown off the tee and the wind is picking up, but it's by no means a real problem out here today. It's a little breezy, but the sun is out. It's a gorgeous afternoon for a game. Eric Facey, one of the top kickers in the league, awaits the official's whistle. And there's the boot. Scott Alia will let the ball bounce out of the end zone, and Mass will take over 1st and 10 from the 20, and some late hitting is going on at the 20-yard line, but the two are broken up, and nothing comes out of it. Here's the scoring drive. 14 plays, 89 yards, consumed 5 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock, and they're saying a 26-yard pass to Braun, so it's 26 yards for the score. Here is Todd Urbanic having his ankle worked on here on the sideline. He was a little woozy as he came off the field after one of the possessions. Palazzi rolls on the option play, and he is hit by Bill Farrell and Bill O'Malley, and nothing doing there. Boy, the defenses have been fun to watch today. And, of course, being a former linebacker, that's what you like to watch.
Now the Wildcats starting to get it together. I think they've made some adjustments. Their coaches talking to their respective offensive and defensive units. The defense goes right out there, and they've got a little momentum. There's Farrell. We talked about his aggressiveness at the top of the show.
Was a receiver last year, and the start of this year, they moved him to safety. Option play. Here's Smellie out over the 30-yard line to the 31, and he's close to the first down, very close.
Now this is one of the plays that UMass likes to run, the option to the near side. They don't have much room, but they brought Yavis, number 88, in motion. He goes downfield for a block. You can see 2 men on Palazzi. Somebody missed an assignment, leaves Smellie open. Yavis tying a man up, and Smellie upfield for a first down.
Gary Jordan was rushing on the play along with O'Malley, and Ryan Jones makes the tackle. But it's good for the first down at the 31. Chip Mitchell splits wide to the far side. He's the only split receiver as Mass goes to the I formation. Long count, handoff Smellie, and some more tough yardage up the middle. Mass continuing to bang away up front, Steve.
And the evidence of that motion upfield, his body's thrown all over the place. There's Mayberry pulling around, leading, and a good block by the fullback, Kevin Murphy, and Smellie with a lot of running room. And as I said, Ken, a lot of bodies on the ground behind them.
6:42 remaining first half. 7-7 score from Durham. UNH hoping to keep its at-large berth alive. The possibility for postseason play. Must win the final 2 games to even have a shot. Mitchell goes in motion. Palazzi, fake handoff, over the middle, pass caught nicely at the 48-yard line. Face mask called as Mike Kelly makes the grab at the 48.
This is an interesting play. This is the option fake. You can see the guard Jadis leading around. Now he reverses, finds Kelly slanting over the middle. Farrell, the safety with the coverage, gets him by the face mask, and that'll tack about 15 extra onto that play.
He did not let go, and so that will be considered an intentional face mask. Palazzi is 5 for 5 in throwing the football today, 39 yards. You can tag on another 15 there, and that hurts the Wildcats as the ball now is at the 38-yard line in UNH territory. 1st and 10. 6:23 remaining in the first half. Smellie now goes in motion to the short side of the field. Draw play up the middle. Ted Barrett, 33-yard line. And a penalty marker is down in the defensive backfield. And it looks like another penalty coming up against the Wildcats. The Mass offensive linemen are celebrating some. Personal foul. Well, it came about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage there, Steve.
Let's see how much they're going to mark off here, Ken. This may be a personal foul.
Well, another 15 yards. So the face mask and now the personal foul, and UMass getting plenty of help at the 18-yard line. 6:11 remaining in the half. Score 7-7. Kevin Murphy is now the fullback, flanked by Kevin Smellie. Hand off Smellie. Tries to turn the corner, will be thrown down by Scott Curtis. Curtis stayed with him and would not let him by.
Bill Farrell, number 6, the first man to hit Smellie on the blitz. But Scott Curtis finishes the job. Now, if the Wildcats can keep UMass in second and third and long situations, Ken, they're going to stay right in this ball game. They're probably going to win it.
Mass has 118 yards on the ground on 29 carries. Palazzi rolls, wants to throw the football, looking for his tight end. It is incomplete. The pass was intended at the 4-yard line. Kenny Gerard, the tight end.
Well, this is the fake to Smellie. He gets a good block from his guard. Now, he had some room to run, but he sees his tight end Gerard's open, but he underthrows. You can see the ball just skids on the ground. The officials could see it plainly, indicating incomplete. He was there, Ken.
He sure was. 3rd and 9 is the situation now. Chip Mitchell comes in motion to the near side, and Palazzi rolls to that side, has some room. Will he throw it? He does at the sideline. Mitchell is bumped out of bounds, and it will be an incomplete pass.
Well, I think he was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Officials are talking things over, but no preliminary indication so far. But
what this will do, it will move him back probably out of field goal range. It's if that's the case with him throwing the ball beyond the line of scrimmage, it'll be loss of down and the penalty.
And also the wind at the Mass face here, so that will hurt the field goal attempt.
The line of scrimmage at the 18-yard line. Now, there's Mitchell. He's waiting for the ball, has to go up for it. There's the hit. The referee rules that he was out of bounds. Of course, he was pushed out of bounds. The key there is, would he have, it's a judgment call, could he have came or landed in bounds?
No walk-off, Steve, so apparently the out-of-bounds play did away with the penalty call, and it's 4th down. Either that or UNH declined the penalty. I did not see the official signal. And there'll be an offsides call as Bonvini will get another chance if he misses this one, but he hits it. Silvio Bonvini hits the field goal. This will be an offsides call against the Wildcats. It would still be a 4th down situation, so the Cats, I'm sure, will just take the 3 points.
Now, I may have been incorrect. Maybe that wouldn't have been loss of down, Ken, and with refusing the penalty and putting him in 4th down, UNH, had they elected the penalty, would have given him another chance to make the 1st down.
So the field goal does stand. A 34-yard field goal by Silvio Bonvini, and Mass has the lead with 5 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the half. Well, you've got to like the way Mass has come out here, Steve. It has not been a banner season over there, and a lot of things have gone wrong, but they show no signs of falling apart here in the first half.
They've made some mistakes, of course, early in the game, fumbling on the 1-yard line. letting the Wildcats off the hook on a 3rd and 22 with a pass interference on a short pattern. And they just keep moving the ball offensively, Ken. Very impressive what they're doing against a conference-leading defense here.
Well, tonight, the Boston Bruins face off against the Hartford Whalers, 7 o'clock, live here on Nesson. We invite you to join Fred Cusick, Dave Shea, and Derek Sanderson for all the action. The Bees coming off a big win against the Canadiens Thursday night. Wasn't that a game? Boston Bruins hockey tonight, live at 7, immediately following Bruins Digest. All of that right here on Nesson. See if the Bees can make it 3 straight.
A nice drive, Ken. 63 yards, 9 plays on that scoring drive. Field goal by Bonvini. They ate up 3 minutes and 38 seconds of the clock. A 34-yard field goal, Silvio Bonvini.
2 deep men, Urbanic and Tom Joy, and Marco Gabrielli boots the ball low, and it'll be picked up by Joy at the 8-yard line. He's looking for some blocking, gets by one man, cuts back, and not much doing there as he is down at the 19. 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half. We'll see what New Hampshire can do now, trailing 10-7. It's interesting with Rob Spittle out of the ballgame with a pulled groin. Steve Crevani is the starting tight end. The 3rd-string tight end is out of the ballgame. That means that the left tackle, Tom Johnson, who was a tight end last year, is the backup tight end, but also the starting left tackle today. Gene barks him out on 1st down. Todd Urbanic, big open. And out to the 33-yard line. Big opener on the right side. Jim Vertucci gets him back there, but not before he has the 1st down.
And he runs right by a UMass man. As you watch it here, the fullback blocking to the opposite side, but the line pulling around from the left side, hardly touched. And once Urbanic gets past the line of scrimmage, he has good acceleration. Not excellent or great speed, but good acceleration. Nice job, Todd Urbanic.
4:47 remaining in the half, 1st and 10. New Hampshire hopes to get on the board one more time, trailing 10-7. Bob Jean fires the pass. It is caught by Urbanic at the 42-yard line. George Corellis makes the stop back there.
And again, they're taking advantage of that zone defense, Ken.
Jean has just completed his 281st pass. That's an all-time UNH record. So he has 2 records so far this afternoon. Bob Jean, number 17. 5'2". I should say 5'10", 210-pound junior. Second and 3. To throw, Curtis Olds at the 50-yard line, driven back, gets away from the tackler, and gets back to the 50. Scott Brown was the first man to hit him, then George Corellis corralled him at the 50, but that's good for a first down.
Well, there were 2 receivers open. Braun was open the inside, but Gene elects to go to Curtis Olds. Here's the hit right there by Brown. You can see the ability of Olds to keep his feet.
5 catches, 55 yards for Curtis Olds. 1st and 10, 3:39 left in the half. Cats on the march. Curtis Olds again. Olds has caught at least 2 passes in 20 straight games. You can make it 21 now. He's the all-time leading receiver in career catches and yards.
Again, Bob Jean takes advantage of those corners, giving Curtis Olds so much room. You can see there, Kirk Williams breaking and making the tackle, but 5 yards at a whack, those UMass corners are going to have to come up a little bit more and challenge those outside receivers.
3 minutes exactly remaining in the half, and now the backs split out in a slot to the left side, a wing to the left. As Gene wants to throw, plenty of time, guns the ball for Olds, and it's too low. Incomplete at the 32-yard line. Well, I think Gene, if he had tucked it, certainly would have had the 1st down, maybe some more.
He did have room. He thought he could get it in there. Couldn't do it. On the top of the field, or the wide side, he had Chris Braun working up there against the corner, but UMass brought Scott Brown up late to get into the throwing lane in case he had any ideas of throwing the ball to Braun.
2:49, clock is stopped with the incomplete pass. Mike Ryan is now the tailback as Braun goes in motion. And Gene quickly throws the ball, and it nails Kirk Williams in the leg, and a penalty marker is down at the line of scrimmage. Well, how about that? You're a defender running away from the ball, and you get nailed in the leg.
Well, that's good coverage is what that is, Ken. What New Hampshire's trying to accomplish is Braun lines up on the near side. He comes in motion. Oles is at the wide side. Oles runs the corner off to clear the zone. Now the safety has to come over and pick up Braun in motion. He gets upfield about 7 or 8 yards and makes a cut. It's a timing pattern. Bob Gene behind on the throw hits the defensive back in the back of the leg.
Did you ever have that happen to you when you were playing linebacker?
I had one hit me in the back of the head one time.
Turn around, King. Intercept the ball.
Eyes in the back of his head. Yeah, no.
Fourth down situation now as Baldessaro must punt the football away. He has 2 punts and a 37-yard average. Scott Elia is the deep man standing back at the 10-yard line. And the ball into the end zone. And Mass will take over first and 10. 2.5 minutes, just over 2.5 remaining in the first half. 13 first downs for both ball clubs in the first half, so things have evened out. Bill Bowes finds his team trailing by 3. Nesson's coverage of New England College soccer continues with a match of the year. It's the NCAA New England Division I championship game Monday. The Harvard Crimson, ranked number 1 in New England, meeting the University of Connecticut Huskies, ranked number 2. Join Scott Gray and Gary Swanson for all the action, 8 o'clock, right here on Nesson. First and 10 for the Minutemen. Palazzi with the option play, will keep it, breaks it into the clear momentarily out to the 34-yard line and has the first down. Well, he found some running room there. He's running that option extremely well today.
Palazzi displays his running ability here as we take another look. You can see Butler, the guard, leading. He gets the man caught inside. Now that gives Palazzi a lot of room to work against Jarostchuk, who missed that tackle. They're being hauled down finally by Scott Curtis.
13 carries, 42 yards for Palazzi. The pass intended for Jay Dowdy on the play. Second down and 10 and 2:18 remaining in the first half of play. Mass has a 10-7 lead. Let's see how conservative they are here as the time winds down. Mike Trifari to the near side, and now the tight end goes in motion. Mike Kelly. Palazzi fakes the hand. Now goes the option and will be brought down without much running room at all. Paul Boulay is right there to meet him.
The Wildcat defense reads this play well. Kelly set off the line at left tight end, comes in motion to the right. They run the option to the near side, and Boulay and company defense it very well.
In third down conversions, Mass 3 of 8. New Hampshire's 2 of 6. Not much better in the ball game. 1:42 remaining in the half. Smellie now goes in motion. Palazzi drops back to pass over the middle. The pass is caught by Ted Barrett as fullback, and he is tripped up at the 38-yard line by Scott Curtis, the linebacker, and that brings up a fourth down situation. And now New Hampshire calls a timeout to get a little more time to work the clock. Steve King is headed for the sideline where he'll talk with the coaches at halftime. Dave Palazzi finds Ted Barrett as fullback, and a nice defensive play by Curtis, the outstanding linebacker, who makes another indication of why the pros are watching. Dimitri Yavis will have his second punt of the ball game when play resumes. His first one was a 41-yarder. 10-7 score. Palazzi with the 11-yard touchdown run, which made it 7-0 in the first quarter. Second period, Gene to Braun, 26 yards, and then the Bonvini field goal, and that's where we stand. 10-7. Dave Palazzi, 6 for 9 through the air, just 44 yards so far in the ball game, but Mass has been doing the job on the ground so far. Jim Reid on the sideline, had a conversation with him before the ball game, always fun to talk to. Bill Bowes What a tradition he's built here at UNH. And there he is, the big guy, Dimitri Yavis. New Hampshire has 1 timeout remaining, Mass with 2. And 1:28 left in the half. Good snap, no rush, low kick. Tom Joy fields it and is knocked on his keister at the 30-yard line. Boy, 32-yard punt. Give Joy a lot of credit for unjoyfully taking the tackle on that one. 1:19 remaining in the first half. Wildcats will try to get something on the board and tie this thing up. Wind is at their back. Chris Braun now splits to the near side. Curtis Olds to the right. Split backfield. Urbanic and Banbury. Now Urbanic goes as a wing to the right side. You know what's coming. Gene drops back into the pocket to throw. Pass is caught by Curtis Olds, and he is brought down after a 4-yard gain by Vito Perrone, the tri-captain for the Minutemen. And Mass has to line up in a hurry on defense because UNH comes out with no huddle. Here's the replay, and you see Olds for the quick 4 yards. And now Gene to throw on 2nd down. Lofts the ball. Crevani almost makes the circus catch at the 40-yard line. Just wasn't quite tall enough. Jim Bertucci was also back defending on the play, but pass was just too high. Does stop the clock with 53 seconds left. Steve King will be talking with Jim Reid as soon as the half is over with, and Bill Bowes later on in the half. We'll also be talking about the UNH playoff prospects with Mike Bruckner, the sports information director here at UNH. Here's the shotgun formation as Gene fires the ball, caught by Matt Banbury, his fullback, and down at the 40-yard line. It's very close to a first down, and the clock stops at 45 seconds. Here you see Gene, who's calling out the signals and facing a 1st and 10 now, but 41 seconds on the clock. They have 1 timeout remaining. Gene fires the ball. It's caught. 46-yard line. Chris Braun makes another big catch at the 47, and now it's first down again. Gene with plenty of time and using the clock well here and finding the open people. Braun makes the catch and is nailed immediately, but not before he has the first down. From the 47. 31 seconds left in the half. Gene moving the team down the field, wants to throw again. He'll loft the bomb, looking for Braun. It's overthrown at the 5-yard line. Kirk Williams back defending on the play. Brings up a 2nd down and 10 with 23 seconds left. Gene getting the signals from the sideline. Been a great year here at UNH. 6-2 kind of year. Maine has the lock on a 2nd place finish after beating UNH last week. Of course, Richmond wrapped up the title against BU several weeks ago. 2nd down and 10, 23 seconds left as Gene wants to throw out of the shotgun. Todd Urbanic has the ball and steps out of bounds. And again, Steve, that 2-minute drill is working well as UNH is executing very well.
Well, Bob Gene's a cool customer back there, operating from the shotgun. Look at his offensive line, give him the protection. That's a lot of time for him. He finds Todd Urbanic in the left flat. Big pickup for the Wildcats.
18 seconds left. New Hampshire with 1 timeout, but they haven't needed it so far. They've been using the sideline very well. Gene will throw long for Olds. He's got the ball at the 3-yard line. What a catch by Curtis Olds. Jim Bertucci is there on top of him, but it's good for a big play.
Well, I said he's your home run guy. Watch this. 2 defenders on number 7, Curtis Olds. The ball thrown high by Gene. Right there, you can see it. Great concentration by Curtis Olds.
And that gives New Hampshire a first down at the 3.
This is a well-thrown ball by Bob Gene. You can see just over the outstretched hands of a defender, and Bertucci making the tackle.
What a great play by Curtis Olds. 32 yards. He now has 8 catches for 98 yards. Curtis Olds having a great day. He had 142 yards. Now, Bob Jean is out of the ball game. Jean has come to the sideline, and Mark Carr, the backup, is in the ball game. And New Hampshire will want to talk about this one. Carr comes to the sideline to get the signals, and I'm not sure if Jean was injured on the play. He is on the sideline being attended to, Steve.
He had great protection. It's really hard to tell what happened. Of course, our camera's following the ball after it was thrown. Maybe he hit after the throw.
And he's up off the bench now and walking around. Maybe he was just dazed for a play.
Well, it looks like he's limping, Ken.
19 of 28, 235 yards for Bob Jean, and what a first half he's had.
You know, maybe that knee injury is still not completely well.
That could be the case. The suspected torn cartilage. Fortunately, it was not. It was strained ligaments, and he was able to come back. And now you see Jean hobbling off. And Bob will go to the locker room to be attended to. And he's getting plenty of aid from an assistant coach.
Well, Mark Carr without the opportunity to warm up, Ken. This could be interesting. I wonder whether Bill Bowes will try to play it safe here and maybe use a running play.
And Carr has had shoulder problems. First and goal from the 3-yard line. Banbury and Urbanic back there as Braun goes in motion. 12 seconds left in the half, and some contact before the snap of the football. And this should cost half the distance to the goal on the Mass defense. Let's see if someone moved. No, it's against the Minutemen. No one was drawn off. So you spot the ball halfway to the goal line. That's putting the ball just outside the 1. Bob Jean has set 3 records today. He hobbled off, and he's now in the locker room, and Mark Carr's the quarterback. Second and goal from outside the 1. Braun goes in motion, and again, some preliminary contact. The Minutemen are anxious. The Wildcats are patient. Well, that'll move it half the distance to the goal one more time. And Steve, when you have to be steamed there on defense, obviously the tendency is to jump off. You have to restrain yourself, but that's twice in a row now.
Now you know why coaches get gray hairs. Jim Reid's going to be pulling his hair out.
First and goal now from the half-yard line. And again, the long count, hoping for another draw. Carr rolls right, passes, intercepted, incomplete. The pass was almost picked off. Jim Bertucci had a shot at it, and that was just a poorly thrown ball, Steve.
Nobody in the backfield. This is definitely going to be a pass. He wants Braun, number 10, Bertucci with the coverage. The ball is underthrown, Ken, and we were wondering really whether Mark Carr is completely over that shoulder injury. You mentioned it, and they're going to be forced to go for the field goal.
Interesting that a running play was not called there, Steve, but we'll wait and see how this turns out with Eric Facey attempting a field goal from the 8-yard line. It'll be an 18-yarder, and it's good. And Eric Facey ties the ball game with an 18-yard field goal with 5 seconds left. And they actually say it's officially a 17-yard field goal. So it's a 10-10 ball game. And Steve, I have to question whether a running play might not have been more appropriate there.
Well, I really thought that Bill Bowes would come in and try a running play. You've got a quarterback coming off the bench who's Cowell, and he's had a shoulder injury in the past. It seems to make sense, but obviously he felt that he could put that ball in there. Braun was probably open enough that if you'd let him, he could have caught the ball, but the ball was underthrown and behind Braun. Bertucci almost intercepting.
I think Mass has to feel pretty good about getting out of that one without another 7 on the board.
And especially after those 2 penalties.
5 seconds left in the half here, and it's now a 10-10 ball game. It's been a well-played ball game with a lot of interest. Minutemen came ready to play today. Despite the 2-7 record, they've lost a lot of games in close situations, and so a lot of things have just not been bouncing their way as they did last year in the big year they had. Facey just lets the ball dribble along the sideline and out of bounds. It'll go out at the 15. Clock never started, so 5 seconds left. Steve King is on the field. He'll be talking with Jim Reid as soon as the teams break for the locker rooms. We'll have a report on the Bruins. Big preview of tonight's game, and of course, recapping that Montreal game, the Hockey East. Once again on NESN this season. Steve and I will be in Connecticut next week for our final NESN Yankee Conference football game. It's been a delightful season with some great play all the way around the league. A very interesting and entertaining year in the Yankee Conference. Bill Bowes on the sideline. He hopes his team can put it together here in the second half. His team needs a victory here to stay in the playoff hunt. The drive, 9 plays, 69 yards, very effective. 1:14 off the clock, and the 17-yard Facey field goal. And here's the kick with 5 seconds left, and again the dribbler. Kevin Murphy lets it float by, and Scott Elia just lands on it. The clock stops with 4 seconds left.
Scott Elia returns the kick.
Part of the crowd here at Durham really enjoying this mid-November afternoon. Didn't have as much snow here as they had in the Boston metropolitan area, so the field is really in great shape. As
Very
Jim Reid
shape,
said, it'd be terrible if they had to play over there, right, Steve? He said they had a wild week.
A quagmire over there, a lot of snow, and of course with a warm day like today, real melting process.
And Reid said that they did clear the soccer fields for practice because they're having the NCAA Girls Championship up there, but they forgot about the football field. And they'll re-kick this one after the ball going out of bounds. They'll mark off the 5-yard penalty. Jim Reid was telling us, Steve, before the ball game about his experience scouting here when he was up in the booth. And he was one of the assistant coaches back in '77. Why don't you relate the story?
Well, Jimmy, of course, as you know, is a very enthusiastic type of coach. He likes to display his enthusiasm, and on a particular play, he got excited, he jumped up, and they had a low ceiling, and he actually knocked himself out, Ken.
He said the assistant coach turned around and said, he's dead, he's dead. He had blood all over his head. Jim Reid found a lot of humor in the situation later. Not at the time, but later. The kick, Elia, opening, 50-yard line, and he is brought down at the 44 as the clock runs out, ending the half. Scott Elia almost broke one there. But the two the two teams head for the locker room is what he intended to say all along, and the score is tied at 10-10. Dave Palazzi, the 11-yard touchdown run. That made it 7-0 in the first period. Bob Jean to Chris Braun, 25-yard touchdown pass. That made it 7-7. Then Silvio Bonvini and Eric Facey with the 2 field goals. And right now we're at 10-10. Band has moved out onto the field, and Jim Reid is headed to the locker room along with Bill Bowes. And Steve, you have to wonder what the strategy will be here in the second half, because things have worked pretty well for both teams, and Jim Reid has got to be encouraged.
Well, I think Jim Reid's going to stick with his game plan. He's going to show him a lot of motion. At times he's going to line up in a 2 tight end formation, try to run between the tackles. He's had success doing it. And of course, on the other side of the coin, I think Bill Bowes will try to take advantage of those zone defenses a little bit more that UMass stays in. I've got Coach Jim Reid down here with me now, Ken. All right, Jim, you're running the ball extremely well. I noticed you're coming with a lot of 2 tight end situations. Your thinking behind that?
Well, we thought it was 3rd down and 1, and we couldn't get our other team back in there, so we went on 1st down. So that was our thinking behind that.
It looks good. Defensively, you're running a lot of zone. They're taking advantage of it, it looks like.
That's no problem as long as we don't give up the big play, which we did. That 3rd and 17 play when we got the pass interference call was probably the worst football play that I've seen all year by our football team. You know, if we had just made the tackle, to me, that's been the key play in the entire game, as a matter of fact.
Makes gray hairs, doesn't it?
What does it look like?
Not many. I'm just kidding.
Right. Well,
good luck, Jim. Good luck in the second half. Ken.
Jim Reid, who's got to be happy with his team's performance at the end of the first half against this highly powered UNH team. It's 10-10, and we'll return to Cowell Stadium in Durham in just a moment.
Look, everyone, Tommy Whalen's got a brand new pickup truck. Brand new, dependable Ford F-150 with a special option package. The thing is loaded. I would have left the sticker on, but I didn't want everyone to know.
Ken Bell, Steve King, welcome back to Cowell Stadium in Durham, New Hampshire. Scores 10-10, UMass and UNH at halftime. And the UMass band, always a pleasure to see them, and they're entertaining the crowd here at halftime. Boy, a gorgeous day for a football game, but tonight it'll be cold inside the Boston Garden where the Bruins will take on the Hartford Whalers. It's a big game for the Bees, trying to make it 3 straight. And for a preview of the game and the review of the big game against the Montreal Canadiens, here's Nesson's Dave Shea.
Thanks, Ken. Great game Thursday night at the Garden. The Bruins and Canadiens, it's always a good...
And the Bruins with a big game against Hartford, another team in their division tonight. And you'll see it on Nesson at 7 o'clock. Right now, let's go down to the field, and Steve King, who is with Mike Bruckner, the sports information director. We got to talk a little playoff here because UNH is still much in the picture, Steve, and the score right here is 10-10. Take it away.
Thank you, Ken. Mike, a few comments about the game so far.
Well, I think it's been an interesting game. I think Bob Jean's done very well. I just hope his injury is not too bad that he can't come back in the second half. He's an outstanding quarterback, and we've got 251 yards of total offense, but we've got to be able to run the ball a little better if we expect to win this football game.
And a chance on the line for that extra playoff berth.
Well, right now, the University of New Hampshire 6-2. If we feel if we could finish 8-2, we will have a shot. Right now, we're 18th in the country. They take 16 teams. The only problem is they're going to have trouble taking 3 teams from one conference, and Maine has had an outstanding year as well. So, we've got to throw up an 8-2 record and take our chances from there.
Now, you're without the services of Norman Ford, the great tailback, who 2 weeks ago was leading the nation in rushing.
Yes, Norm was averaging 126.5 yards a game and is an outstanding tailback with tremendous speed. He injured his ankle, and right now he's got some stress fracture problems, and he probably will not play against Connecticut next week either. So, it's unfortunate, but Todd Urbanic has done a good job. He had a real chance to become the 3rd player in history to rush for 1,000 yards, but, we've got him back for 2 more years, and I think you'll hear a lot more about Norman Ford in the future from New Hampshire.
Mike, I want to thank you for joining us here at halftime. Now, with the score tied, UMass 10, University of New Hampshire 10, Ken and I will be right back.
It's 10-10, New Hampshire and UMass talking things over in the locker room. Last night, it was a wild shootout on Nesson. If you happen to see the game, Providence College against Northeastern, this baby ended in a 7-7 tie, and both goaltenders had their work cut out for them. Let's get the story on last night's game from Sean and Bob.
Thank you very much, Ken Bell. Last night here at Schneider Arena, a wild one between Providence and Minnesota Duluth that ended in a 7-7 tie. A good game between 2 young teams.
Well, a lot of mistakes made, but a lot of great hockey. Exciting action. We saw goals in a flurry. Tremendous game. Both teams played very well, but the overtime.
Sean and Bob will look forward to another exciting season of Hockey East hockey all season long right here on Nesson. Halftime from Cowell Stadium. It's 10-10, New Hampshire and UMass, and Steve King, who is on the field. Let's look down the statistics here, Steve, and the thing that really jumps out at you right off the bat, the difference in the passing and the rushing between the two. UMass has 31 carries, 132 yards rushing. UNH 16 yards on 12 carries, but just the reverse in passing. UNH with 235 through the air. Bob Jean had a great first half, 19 of 29, and UMass 46 yards on 6 of 9.
Well, it's surprising that UMass is moving the ball so well on the ground against a league-leading defense, Ken. And then by the other side of the coin, it's surprising that New Hampshire can't get anything going on the ground, but their passing game very successful. Last week, the Wildcat receivers dropping a lot of balls on Bob Jean. Today they're hanging on to him, and thus his great statistics.
So each team with 1 turnover, penalties, 55 yards against the Wildcats. That has hurt them. But the time of possession after UMass just dominated the first period evened out. So it's 15-49 for UNH and just a little under 15 for UMass. So let's review some of the scoring plays of the first half. And Steve, the first scoring play was set up by a fumble.
Well, Chris Braun is the receiver here. He catches the ball, You can see Bob Jean dropping straight back, a fake to the tailback Ryan. Now he finds Braun in the seam. Nice pass, nice reception. Now watch Vito Perrone right there. He spins Braun around, stripping the ball away from him. A mad scramble, and this was the turnover that led to the drive that brings UMass to this play. Dave Palazzi on the option. There's a soft corner. Bill Farrell going with the fake right there. Palazzi turning up. Now he's met at the 5-yard line, but look at him keep his legs moving. Drags a man over the goal line for the score.
And it was 7-0 after 1.
Here's the other angle. You can see the influence of the guard pulling the other way. Got the linebackers out of position, gave him that soft corner. But look at the running of Dave Palazzi. That's power running from the 5-yard line. He drags a man across.
And Palazzi had 43 yards on 9 carries in the first half. And at 3:41 left in the first period, it was 7-0 UMass. Then in the second quarter, UNH got down to business as Bob Jean took the team down the field with his arm.
Well, here's the big play out of the shotgun. Good blocking by the offensive line. The pass to Braun. Oles had cleared the zone. Now Braun makes a defender miss right there. That's Scott Brown. Now he picks up a block from Curtis Oles on Garrick Amos. Turns on the speed for the corner of the end zone. Out races one UMass defender as he dives, but it's a touchdown for the Wildcats.
Bob Jean, 19 of 28, 235 yards and 1 touchdown. He was sacked once in the first half. 10-10 the score, with each team adding a field goal in the late stages of the half. This fan and the rest of us look back to enjoy the second half in just a moment. Ken Bell, Steve King, welcome back to Durham, New Hampshire on a great mid-November afternoon for football. Steve King will be talking with Bill Bowes. He'll undoubtedly enjoy Curtis Old's performance. 8 catches, 95 yards, the longest of 33 yards. Now Bill has joined Steve King on the sideline.
All right, Ken, I'm here with head coach Bill Bowes. Bill, will we see Bob Jean here in the second half?
Well, we hope so. It's an ankle injury, and right now it looks like he's going to be able to play, so he's going to give it a shot.
UMass giving you a lot of room in those zones. What are you going to try to do differently here in the second half? Anything different?
No, I can't say that we're going to do anything any different. You know, we moved the football. We hurt ourselves the one time. We got down in scoring range, and we had a pass play called off of our run action, and we ended up losing about 15 yards and taking ourselves out of scoring position. But, you know, we started to move the football pretty well in the second quarter, and we just got to stay with what we're doing.
Coach, good luck in the second half. Thanks for joining us. Ken?
Thank you very much, Steve. Bill Bowes heads for the sideline. His team is 10-10 with UMass, and we'll see how the second half develops. If it's anything like the first, we're in for a good half of football. Good crowd on hand to watch this game. Of course, UNH has a 6-2 record coming into this game, so a couple of games remaining in the season. UMass has one more game remaining. UNH will be at Connecticut next Saturday, and we will have that game for you live on Nesson. There's Bob Jean, who is back out on the field, and again, it was the ankle problem that Coach Bowes pointed to. Jean's going to give it a shot. Mark Carr came in on the last drive at the 3-yard line, could not get his team in the end zone before the first half ended. UNH will kick off to begin the second half. And the Mass Minutemen came out with a lot of momentum early in the ballgame. Let's see if they can continue that stride. Eric Facey, the outstanding kicker for UMass, or for UNH, I should say, tees up the football. And we're just about ready to go with second half play. The problem for the Minutemen has been in the fourth quarter, where they have been outscored 82-67. They avoided disaster in the first quarter, where they had been outscored 56-17 coming into the ball game. But they got a touchdown, the only touchdown of the first period, and Jim Reid's troops had a 7-0 lead after 1, but now it's 10-10. An interesting statistic, Scott Alia is one of the deep men there. I found this interesting, Steve. The opposition has completed 41% of its passes against UNH, so the pass defense has been good all season long for these people. Scott Alia takes the Facey kickoff at the 4-yard line and returns it out to the 21, where he is stonewalled at that point. So Mass with the first possession of the second half.
I'm not quite as out of breath as I was last week.
Boy, you are. I tell you, by the end of the season, you're going to be ready.
I'm getting in shape running those stadium stairs.
Dave Palazzi at quarterback. Fakes one way, the option play to the other side. Nice pitch out to Kevin Smellie, who turns the corner. He's out to the 35-yard line, and Palazzi made that play happen by hanging onto the ball, maybe even a step too long.
That's the key to the option. The quarterback has to know when to pitch the ball and when not to pitch it, and when to hold it to the last second. He makes the defensive man commit, tosses to Smellie. Now it's a race to the corner. Smellie with that great speed, getting upfield for the first down.
Scott Curtis had hit him, but he had gotten the pitch away just in time. 14-yard pickup by Smellie. And another first down. 34-yard line. Smellie again, this time for a yard. He loses the football. New Hampshire has got it. Second fumble, and this one recovered by the Wildcats.
Ken, I would like to see that play again. I think his knee was down. We'll get another look from ground level. There's the handoff. There's the contact. Now watch his knee. Well, he did fumble. I take it back. The ball was starting to come out of his grasp as he was going down. Just before the knee touched, the ball was loose.
Good call by the official. It was a bang-bang call. Bill Farrell was the man who recovered the football. Bob Jean is back into the ball game now, so we'll see how long his ankle holds up here. Mike, I should say Urbanic is the lone setback. Here's the bomb to Curtis Olds. Ball is intercepted in the end zone, and UMass has ended the threat.
That's Bertucci, I believe, Ken, number 36.
Jim Bertucci picks it off
from his free safety position. Now Olds is running the deep post pattern. There's the fake toss to the tailback, Jean, with a little pressure, but plenty of time. Now watch here, two defenders, Andrew Thomas and Bertucci. Bertucci with great inside position, comes down with it in the end zone.
Bertucci has played strong safety, outside linebacker, and free safety. He gets his first interception of the season. Score tied at 10, 14:32 remaining third period. Dave Palazzi, option left. Pitch out Smellie again, and not much running room there this time. Kevin Murphy was over trying to block on the play, but too many defenders. Bill Farrell leading the charge. Scott Curtis also there.
Yeah, that was number 22, Tim Byrne, that Murphy was trying to block. Byrne with a nice job forcing Smellie up inside and getting a piece of him.
Tim Byrne, whose brother Rich was the outstanding former quarterback here at UNH. Second down and 7. Smellie in motion. Palazzi wants to throw that direction. Has Smellie, and a pickup of about 4 yards. Spotted at the 28-yard line.
All right, Smellie goes in motion here. The wide receiver runs upfield, tries to push the defensive back upfield. And there you can see the quick throw to Smellie. Again, Tim Byrne figuring on the play, making the tackle.
Kevin Smellie, the workhorse so far in the ball game. Third down, 3 yards to go. Palazzi avoids one tackler, pitches to Smellie coming to the near side. He has running room at the 45 and is bumped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Kevin Smellie, burst of speed, and he gets some big yardage and another first down.
Well, give Palazzi credit. Watch him here. He's going to make the defensive end. I believe that was Murphy miss. Now as the defender closes, he tosses to Smellie. Great block by the fullback Murphy on Jordan, giving Smellie the corner before he's dragged out of bounds by number 6, Farrell.
19 carries, 103 yards for number 41, Kevin Smellie. 5'11", 191-pound junior. His best day, 171 against BU earlier this season. Palazzi rolls, now will throw the ball. He's got Trifari in the clear. 15, the 10. He is dragged down at the 2-yard line. And the ball is loose. And a touchback is called, so New Hampshire has got the ball. How about that wild episode? Trifari had the ball.
Well executed. They suck up the defensive backs. It looks like the option. Now Trifari is sneaked behind the coverage. There's the throw. Now it's a foot race. Jones, number 3, reaching in. Now watch right there, the left hand, stripping the ball away. That's Tim Byrne, number 22. Heads up play by Byrne. as Trifari was struggling to try to make it over the goal line. Watch Jones. He grabs to the right now. Now watch the left hand of Byrne right there. Now watch him strip the ball away before Trifari hits the ground. It lands in the end zone for a touchback. Great play by Tim Byrne. Good presence of mind.
Brian Jones with the recovery. Big turnaround from the 20-yard line. Bob Jean hands off to Urbanic. He is belted at the 20-yard line and not much doing there. We've seen some wild plays in this ball game. We saw the long bomb before the end of the first half to Curtis Olds in a circus-type catch.
Well, a big opportunity right there goes down the drain for the Minutemen. And if New Hampshire can turn this around and go right down the field, this may take a lot of air out of their tires.
12:33 remaining in the third. The score is 10-10. Second down and 10. Urbanic in motion to the near side. Jean will throw that direction. Urbanic turned around. Ball was short. A timing pattern, and Jean just never got it there.
He took a quick look the other way, and then he turned. I don't think Urbanic expected the ball to be there. Como, the outside linebacker, dropped, but actually wasn't in the throwing lane. The ball just underthrown.
Como back in the lineup. They thought he had chipped a bone in his vertebrae, but it turned out to be a strain, a muscle strain. So he's been able to continue playing. New Hampshire with 16 yards rushing, and they'll have to go to the air again. This time, Crevani makes the catch at the 24-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, bringing up a 4th and 5. These are the figures, Steve. Mass 172 yards on the ground, UNH 16. And in third down conversions, neither team has been effective, with UNH now 3 for 8 and Mass 3 for 9.
Surprising statistics so far, Ken. Very surprising.
3 punts and a 40-yard average so far for Nate Baldessaro, who is standing at his own 9-yard line. Gets the kick away. Scott Alia waits for it at the 42. 50-yard line and dives down to the 47. So Mass will get good field position off of this. 9-yard return. So it's 1st and 10. UMass again.
Ken, going back to what you mentioned about the turnover ratio early in the game, UMass at -18 this year. UNH at about +3 right now.
Palazzi, the pitch. Smellie, it's read beautifully by Tim Byrne again. He's been stringing out the option, and I think New Hampshire is making the adjustment.
Well, Jay Dowdy had his blocking assignment on Byrne. Couldn't get the job done. Smellie tried to put a quick spin move on him, but Byrne, good reaction, comes up with a big play, throwing Smellie for about a yard loss.
11 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Game tied 10-10. Palazzi pitches back to Chip Mitchell. He gets the block and cuts to the 45-yard line, and he's down at the 43. Garry Jordan makes the play at that point. So they used Mitchell from his end spot, doing what he does best. He runs with the football.
He lines up on the near side. Play coming towards you now. Here's Mitchell coming in motion. He takes the toss, running around. Now he has a lane. He cuts up inside right there. Byrne held the outside position. He had contained, and Jordan, number 43, recovered in time to prevent the first down. It's 3rd and 4.
Slot to the right side. Palazzi rolls that way. Pitch to Smellie. Needs a block from Barrett. Barrett is double teamed and winding up short of the first down by a couple of yards. So Smellie well contained by Bill Farrell and Bill O'Malley.
Farrell with an excellent defensive play. It looked like he had the corner made. Right here, when he catches the ball, you can see a good block inside. And look at Farrell. Look at the position there. A block by Barrett on Jones, but Farrell closes, makes a diving tackle on Smellie, forcing the Minutemen to punt the ball.
2 punts and a 36-yard average for Dimitri Yavis. He goes for the coffin corner. Tom Joy lets it go over his head. It's out of bounds. And the official will mark the spot at the 5. So that's still a great punt.
Good placement, coffin corner kick. Can't ask for much more than that. Wildcats need to work themselves out of the hole here. Of course, a possible playoff berth on the line, as we've mentioned on several occasions. Really needing to get something going desperately here.
Do I dare say we have not had overtime on Nesson? Still too early. Still too early. 9:39 remaining in the third. It's all knotted up at 10-10. Urbanic and Banbury are the setbacks. Banbury, quick hitter up the middle, out to the 20-yard line. Well, Frank Maguire and Jim Prendible knocking people out of there and opening the door.
Just a quick opener. The left guard pulls around, leads on Perone, gets a good block for Banbury. I believe that was Maguire, the guard, forcing the safeties to make the tackle.
16-yard pickup. 1st and 10 from just outside the 20-yard line. Lone setback, Banbury. Gene throws to the right side, has it into the hands of Curtis Olds, his outside threat, who gets the first down. Spotted at the 32.
Well, they're exploiting that zone again, and you've got to take what a team gives you. UMass is giving them the outside, respecting that speed of Olds. Como, the inside linebacker, unable to get into the throwing lane. The ball well thrown by Gene, and a first down for the Wildcats.
Garrick Amos makes the stop on Olds, who now has 9 catches for 105 yards. 1st and 10, pitch to Urbanic. Leaps over one man. He puts his head down and has the yardage for perhaps another first down. That's what I like about Urbanic. Whatever it takes to get it done, he does it.
Number 63, offensive tackle John Driscoll with a key block. The toss to Urbanic. Driscoll seals the inside. You can see Urbanic hurdling over bodies, and that's going to be another first down for the Wildcats.
Well, 2 quick first downs in a row here as UNH is on the move. Braun splits wide to the near side of Olds, who now has his 7th 100-yard season. 100-yard game of the season, I should say. Splits to the right side. Double setback, and here's the handoff to Urbanic again, and this time not much doing. Gain of a yard or so. Vito Perone is there to make the stop.
Urbanic, good running. Watch him make Robar number 73 miss. Right there. He breaks the tackle. Good leg drive. Keeps churning. Nice effort by Urbanic, but good defense by the Minutemen, stopping him for a short 2-yard gain.
Oh, he's tough for 5'11", 185 pounds, isn't he, for his size?
And he breaks a lot of tackles at the line of scrimmage like we saw him do there to Steve Robar.
2nd down, 8. Bob Gene into the pocket. Looking for Olds. He's got the ball at the 35. Curtis Olds again with the big reception, and New Hampshire keeps the drive alive.
UMass comes with the blitz. Watch the linebackers. They're rushing. Actually, Corelli's picking up a back. Perone on the blitz, leaving Olds with one-on-one coverage. And few people in the Yankee Conference are going to cover Curtis Olds one-on-one.
22-yard pickup. Now Gene, 22 of 33, 272 yards through the air. Great afternoon. Hand off to Urbanic. He is hit at the 35 and no gain. Gene came in with 1,527 yards and a 54% completion average. He's second, by the way, in completion average and second in career yards here at UNH. So Gene seemed to be shaking off the effects of whatever the ankle injury was, Steve, near the end of the first half.
Now UMass coming with an extra defensive back in the game. They pulled the linebacker, Ken. Nickel defense in the game.
2nd down and 11, and Gene will try to test that secondary. Continues to roll. The rush is on, and the pass is knocked down away from Curtis Olds. A fine defensive play. Jim Bertucci.
Well, he's looking for Braun, number 10, first of all, but Andrew Thomas, 25, covers him like a blanket. He's forced to come off and find Olds. As he's driven deeper and deeper, now you can see he's looking for Olds, but right there you can see the play broken up by Jim Bertucci, number 36. See Braun going downfield. He wanted him, but he was well covered.
I beg your
pardon?
pardon?
There's the coverage.
I pointed to the wrong man. That's Scott Alia. Scott Elia who
That's
makes
right,
the
number
touch.
26. We thought it was 36.
Clock is stopped here as the official backs people up away from the goal line.
Scott Elia coming in on that in that nickel defense, Ken. He was one of the replacement players.
So they had the extra defensive back. Third down conversions. UNH 3 for 8, Mass 3 for 10. So we'll see what the Wildcats can do in their 9th opportunity here.
UMass showing blitz right now.
And Gene drops off. Shotgun. Looking over the middle, plenty of time. Olds has the football, tries to spin away, cannot. And he's short of the first down. Jerome Bledsoe kept him from getting the first down here.
Well, they fake the blitz, they come off. Urbanic tried to clear up field for Olds, delaying and coming across. There's the throw. Now you can see the contact. Watch Olds struggle to try to make that first down. That was Jerome Bledsoe, number 22 on the coverage. He drags him down just short of that first down. Here's the other angle. Urbanic went upfield to clear his defender, the safety. There's Bledsoe making the tackle on Olds. Look at Olds try to stretch it out. Can't quite get it there. About a half a yard short, Ken.
Timeout is being called, Steve, and 4th and short. I'm sure that UNH will go for it. You see Bob Gene on the sideline talking to the coaches. What a great afternoon Gene has had through the air. Just incredible. He had a knee injury and missed the URI game. They thought it was torn cartilage. Turned out to be the strained ligaments. And on the other side of the ball, UMass has put together a real spirited effort here today, both offensively and defensively. And there you see the outstanding linebackers. They have Vito Perrone. Jim Reid, the fireball. Getting his troops ready for this one. It's 4th and short, less than a yard. Big play here for both teams with the score tied 10-10.
This should turn out to be one of the key plays of the game here, Ken. Definitely.
4th down, less than a yard. Urbanic tripped up behind the line. Minutemen have held.
What an effort. I believe that was 73, Robar. He slices in. Watch it here, Urbanic with the handoff. There's Robar playing off a blocker, hitting Urbanic at the knees, spinning him around, actually throwing him for a somersault. You can see Bertucci celebrating. Great play, number 73, Steve Robar. That's the defensive play of the game.
Big turnaround with New Hampshire driving. Wildcats have 19 first downs to UMass's 15 so far in the game. Here's the pitch out. Smellie. Ooh, is he labeled by Ryan Jones and driven back. What a hit. You can hear those pads crunch from up here. 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. Jones is the freshman.
He sees a hole here. He gets good blocking, but Jones feels it extremely fast, comes flying into your picture, really puts the leather to Smellie, keeps it going there, stops him cold, gets help from a teammate. Great play. Ryan Jones, number 3.
2nd down and 8. Smellie right back at it, goes in motion. Quarterback draw this time as Palazzi will not get the first down at the 35-yard line. Will Tychen makes the stop.
Now Palazzi puts that added pressure on the linebackers. He's like an extra running back, Ken. There's a quarterback draw, trying to influence the defensive lineman upfield, taking advantage of that gap there, very close to the first down.
Palazzi has 10 carries, 49 yards. UMass doing it on the ground. Up front, the Mass offensive line averaging 263 pounds. Called on heavily to execute the running game today. Palazzi tries to cut back, and the option never develops, and he is driven down, and that will bring up a 4th down situation. Scott Curtis, big defensive play.
Well, some confusion between Kelly and Trifari. They were both trying to block outside on Tim Byrne. That allowed someone on the inside of that Wildcat defense to pursue inside out and get to Palazzi.
Dimitri Yavis. This is Dimitri's 3rd punt. He has a 36-yard average, Steve, at the other end. With the wind blowing in his face right now. Tom Joy, this will be his 4th punt. and Tom Joy is back along with Ryan Jones, both standing on about the 25-yard line. So a little bit of confusion there by the Wildcats on who's to be in the ball game. Now the clock winds with 4:26 left in the third. Yavas to get this chance again. The big guy boots a high end-over-end kick taken by Tom Joy at the 26-yard line, and he is brought down at the 29.
Good hang time on the punt by Yavas, allowed his coverage people to get downfield and close very quickly.
42-yard punt. Bill Bowes in his 16th season here, 2 Yankee Conference titles to his credit. 75, the semis in Division II, and 76, he lost in the first round of the playoffs. This is his 5th straight winning season. Boy, he's tough to beat here at Cowell Stadium. But right now, UMass holding its own, 10-10. Look how far out Curtis Olds is split. Wide to the near side. Maybe 7 or 8 yards from the sideline, but the pitch comes to Urbanic. Sidesteps one tackler and will be brought down at the 31. Scott Brown makes the stop on him.
Now Steve Brothers, number 9, he's the key here. Here's the toss to Urbanic. Watch Brothers fight off defenders right there. Forces Urbanic inside and Brown there to finish the tackle.
Urbanic 16 carries and 42 yards so far in the ball game. Dan Sharon, number 95. You have a look at the men up front. Joe Cullen, Steve Robar up against that UNH front. 3:32 remaining third period. 10-10, blitz is on, and Gene unloads at the last minute, and Crevani was being double teamed back there. Jim Bertucci was the closest man to the ball.
Well, he had Bob Rundle draped around him, and this is a great job by Bob Gene to get rid of the ball to avoid the sack. See Rundle coming in there. Now he spins him, starts to spin him around. Gene knows he's going to go down. He just gets rid of the ball. He wasn't trying to complete that, just trying to avoid the sack. Nice effort, nice heads-up play by Bob Gene.
So Gene will use the shotgun this time. UNH 3 out of 9 in third down conversions. Gene to throw, wide open. Mike Ryan, 36-yard line, but it's not enough for a first down. Jerome Bledsoe was defending on the play. Gave up the shorty, but still 4 yards short.
Well, I don't understand this throw. You need big yardage for a first down. He only throws about a 6 or 7 yard pattern. There you can see it to Ryan, and he's well covered by Bledsoe, number 22.
Nate Baldessaro to punt the ball away, standing on his own 20-yard line. 4 punts and a 38-yard average this afternoon. Scott Elia standing alone at the 30-yard line. And Elia backs up. Good punt. Picked up by Elia at the 18. Needing some blocks, a clip will be called as Elia is put down at the 25-yard line. A clip will cost them some yardage and 46-yard punt.
Let's take a look at that from the end zone. You can see Elia getting it right there. There's the clip right there. Number 31 for UMass, the guilty party. That's Chris McCray, reserve linebacker.
Well, that's a costly penalty, Steve. It backs the Minutemen up deep here.
A big swing in field position.
15 yards.
This is what we talk about when penalties happen. They're so crucial at certain times in the game. And right now, with a 10-10 tie, you'd like to start out with good field position. Instead, they're in the hole.
2:43 left in the third. Mike Kelly changes sides. The big tight end, number 86. Palazzi hands off straight up the middle. Ted Barrett gets a yard or two on the play. There have been some missed opportunities here. Mike Trifari fumbling the football on the 1-yard line, being stripped of the football. Curtis Olds, who caught the long pass near the end of the first half, and UNH had to settle for the 3 points. Score is still 10-10. Palazzi to loft the ball wide open. Jay Doughty, and he is out of bounds at the 34-yard line, and he was out when he caught it. Incomplete pass, wide open, Steve.
Well executed. Tim Byrne getting nose trouble, getting caught up with the fake. He thought it was going to be a run. Doughty sneaks in behind him. There you can see the fake. This freezes the defensive backs momentarily. Doughty works in behind Byrne, but the ball overthrown. Let's take a look. Comes down. Tough to see from there. Here's another look at it right there. It looked like his left foot came down first, Ken. It was out of bounds. The right foot was in bounds, but it came down last.
Palazzi is tripped up behind the line. Basil Jarostchuk, the big play. And that'll bring up a 4th down situation. So a costly out of bounds for Doughty. And now UMass finds itself deep in its own territory, and UNH is going to wind up with good field position here. Yavis with 4 punts, a 37-yard average so far. Let's see what he does on this one. No rush. It's an end-over-ender carrying down to Tom Joy at the 46. And he will be met at that point, and another penalty marker comes out. And do we have another clip?
Well, I think this will go against the Wildcats, and very similar to what just happened to UMass on their previous possession.
38-yard punt, and a clip is the call against the Wildcats.
Well, rather than having the ball on UMass's 45, Ken, they're going to wind up operating from their own 40-yard line.
Bill Bowes on the sideline. Steve, it's interesting that in total offense, UNH on the season came into this ball game with 31-44. That's almost 1,000 yards more than the opposition. That's quite a difference. Shows that your defense is tough. Your offense can move the ball. But so far, Mass has met the challenge today. 10-10. First down from the 40. Bob Jean back. He is going to be wrapped up and thrown to the ground.
Joe Cullen, number 97, the nose guard. Now he offsets on the center, Ken, to the right side. And watch how quickly he gets into the center right here. Now watch him pull him and get up inside that guard center gap onto Jean before the receivers can work their patterns, pulling him down. They've needed that inside pressure today. They haven't gotten it. Rundle supplying most of the pressure on Jean, but Joe Cullen coming through with a big play.
Cullen, the strongest man on the team, and a 5'11" junior. Big play up front. Second down and 20. Draw play. Urbanic has running room and slips down at the 39-yard line. Is putting one out from under him. He was greeted by Scott Braun and Todd Rundle.
Nice call by Bill Bowes. He's got the UMass guys thinking pass, gets him upfield. Robar off balance, tries to make an arm tackle. Urbanic, that's not going to work. Urbanic with a nice gain. He gets most of that sack yardage back. They've still got a 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11, Ken.
Boy, neither team has had very much success on third downs. New Hampshire 3 for 10. UMass is 3 for 12. See what the call is here at 3rd down and 11, and they'll have to make it 3rd down and 16. Maybe they took too much time. No, that's the end of the quarter. Quarter ends. And the score is still tied, 10-10. Back with a 4th in just a moment. Short break there, and we had one play while we were away, and take a look at it, Steve. That's a big play.
It is a big play. Todd Rundle putting the pressure on him, but watch Jean make a miss. He's going to find Crevani, the tight end. Now Scott Brown misjudges his tackle, misses him. Garrick Amos misses. Crevani still going, avoids another tackler. Now Brown comes all the way back and makes a tackle, but they have a big, big first down.
Steve Crevani taking the place of Rob Spittle out with a groin injury. He's had a big game today. Bob Jean. Banbury, 35, down to the 30-yard line and close to another first down, but a penalty marker is down right next to Jim Prendible, the center, and perhaps we'll have a holding call.
I think there's going to be a holding call on Todd Rundle. I think they held Rundle. Watch them set up the screen. Well executed. Banbury slipping out behind 3 linemen. A lot of action in front of him. Good blocking. Finally brought down by Perone. And is that Bertucci? No, that is number 30, Corellis, George Corellis, the inside linebacker.
Yeah.
But I believe we'll see that play come back.
So penalties continuing to cost the Wildcats here. 10-yard walk-off.
Now Rundle was trying to fight off a block, get to the outside, and it looked like he was being held.
New Hampshire 9 penalties and 80 yards. 6 penalties, 19 yards on the Minutemen. 14-16 remaining in the ball game. 10-10 score.
Penalties have been very costly in this game.
Really have.
Really big swings in field position.
Real critical times for both ball clubs, even though UMass just has 19. Gene drops back into the shotgun on 1st down and 15. Braun in motion. Gene looks for Olds. Has him at the 40-yard line. Olds puts on the spin move, tries to keep his legs moving, loses his balance and down. Drew Como is defending on the play.
Now look at Olds come inside here for the pass. There you see Como at the top of your screen. He's dropping into the zone. Now watch the move by Olds, the spin. Como's going, what do I have to do to get him down? As he's